Let's go to guided practice 2. A newspaper vendor in Singapore is trying to predict how many copies of the Straits Times they will sell. The vendor forms a model to predict the number of copies sold each weekday. According to this model, they expect the same number of copies will be sold each day. To test the model, they record the number of copies sold each weekday during a particular week. This data is shown in the table. A goodness of fit test at 5% significance level is used on this data to determine the vendor's model is suitable or not. You are given the critical value 9.49, which means you are expected to use this critical value to draw the conclusion. Here is the key words. Determine whether the vendor's model is suitable. What is the vendor's model? Same number of copies will be sold each day. Therefore, the vendor's model is suitable. Go to HO because the number of copies sold each weekday follows uniform distribution. H1, the vendor's model is not suitable. Or you can write down the model specifically for HO. The same number of copies will be sold each day. H1, not the same number of copies will be sold each day. B, find an estimate for how many copies the vendor expects to sell each day and fill out this table below. First of all, we need to add all this together to get total number of copies for the weekdays. We got 460. 460 divided by 5 equals 92. So, according to the vendor's model, each day they will sell the same number of copies, 92 for every single weekday. C1, write down the degrees of freedom for this test. We have 5 observed data. So 5 minus 1 is 4. This will be degree of freedom. C2, find chi-squared statistic. Since we have specific data, we need to go to spreadsheet. On 1, no. 4, spreadsheet. We have observed frequency. Let's use O for 8. Then we have expected frequency. Let's use E. Type in the data. After you put in observed frequency and expected frequency, click this empty cell. Click on menu 4. statistics. Go to for stat tests. This is a chi-square GOF test. Go to 7. Observed list. O for observed list. Expected list. It's E. Degree of freedom 4. Then enter. We got this answer. Chi-squared statistic is 8.54. P-value 0.0736. If you want to see this result clearly, we can add one more page. Control Doc. Add calculator. Then click these variables. Go down to stat results. Enter. You could see the result more clearly. Chi-squared equals 8.54. Write down the conclusion. We use please to remember the rule for rejecting HO. P-value less than alpha, reject HO. If you want to use a critical value, it will be opposite. In other words, when chi-squared greater than critical value, reject HO. You can draw this diagram to remember. This is K. This area is significance level alpha. When chi-squared greater than K, go to this rejection region. Therefore, when chi-squared greater than K critical value, reject HO. We are given this critical value 9.49. Since 8.54 less than 9.49, not enough evidence to reject HO. Since we do not reject HO, we will rewrite HO at 5% significance level. So the vendor's model is suitable at 5% significance level.